follow me. I think we'll be able to find out a little bit more about them. Come on.
Welcome everyone to the first ever episode of Trick Tac Toe. My name is Frank. I am excited. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and was talking to some friends at work, and just recently decided that I would put together a gear review channel that I could. It's kind of a twofold thing. I wanted to look at gear. I love gear, like most guys. Always trying to refine and make my everyday carry a little bit better, and the gear a little bit better for the use that I need. And was talking with some friends at work and decided that I would put together a channel and try to get a little bit outside my comfort zone. I'm going to start probably behind the camera for the most part. I think in the intro you saw there I added a little bit of a goofy intro so you kind of can see what I look like when I haven't shaved for a while. This is going to be mostly regarding gear. I'm trying to focus on guns, gear, everyday carry, preparedness type of videos, and there's a lot of them out there, a lot of really good ones. So I hope I live up to kind of some of the standards that have already been set by a lot of guys out there. Today, for this first video that we're doing, I want to show off the StealthGear Onyx that I purchased about 6 months ago, and it's a IWB, or an inside the waistband carry holster, and it is for my H&K VP9 that I just picked up. Really like this gun. It is a striker fired pistol, and we'll get into that at another review down the road, but I've loved it so far. It's kind of a big gun for a everyday carry or a concealed carry type of a gun. I'm a bigger guy, so it doesn't bother me as much, and I really like the gun. Maybe down the road I'll look at getting another firearm that's probably smaller, more easily concealable, but for right now this does great and I really like it. So let's talk a little bit about the StealthGear holster. This is called the Onyx, and from the first time I looked at this thing, I just thought it looked very, very nice. All of their holsters, and to be honest with you, I got on their site just recently. I think they're updating their look and feel. It's a brand new logo anyway, and some of their holsters, I don't know if they even sell this one anymore. I think the reason I wanted to show this holster off for those of you who are looking to buy a StealthGear is mostly just to show you the quality of it. When I look at this thing, I mean, just from a glance, it looks like a solid, very technical looking holster. Now, I've had in the past, I had a 1911, a Kimber 1911, and used a Super Tuck, or a crossbreed Super Tuck, to carry that one. That's a leather backing, so this area right here, all this back part was cowhide or a leather that would form to your waist. I love that holster. That's an incredible holster. So when I looked at getting a holster for the VP9, I was very seriously considering the crossbreed, or just because that's the way it had gone before, and I loved it. It also had the Kydex. I think a lot of holsters, that's pretty standard. But I decided to go with the StealthGear Onyx because of the breathability. And I don't know if you can see that. Looks like there's some holes. It has kind of a foam inside of there that breathes, and then right here down where your firearm fits into your gun fits into it, there's actually a moisture protection barrier, so that if you're sweating, it doesn't get up against the metal of the gun. But I looked at this, and my first concerns were, with the synthetic material, how's it going to hold up versus the leather? Because obviously, if you go with a leather holster, it's hard to beat the durability in the wear of those things, especially if the leather is well maintained. They are, like I said, I have nothing but good things to say about the crossbreed holsters. They're fantastic. I decided to go with this one because of the fact that if I'm hiking or if I'm going somewhere else and my temperature or the perspiration gets up, this one can breathe just a little bit more than an all leather holster would. You can tell there's this fabric on the back that's more breathable and just allows for kind of a better, comfortable feeling, I think, in my opinion. But I think in any situation, they're both great. I just thought, I want to try this out. It had a more technical, it looked like it fit the gun more. And so I went with it, and I have nothing but good things to say about it. This is a solid, well-bit holster, top to bottom. I'll go over kind of what I found, some of my concerns, if any, but by and large, great holster. Let's start with the back here. You have the back, which is a kind of a nylon athletic type of a mesh, like you'd find on a jersey. It feels very soft, but it also feels very durable, something that would hold up well over time. But again, unlike leather, it's going to, I suppose, eventually break down, especially with the oils in your skin. But it's going to be quite a ways down the road, I believe. It has these T-nuts that kind of hold in the kydex on the front. And when you first look at these, you think, well, that's going to be up against your skin. They're down in there. There's no way you're really feeling those. There's no sharp edges. There's nothing protruding. They're embedded down inside, so you're not going to feel those. Right here, you can see that you have two holes to adjust the height of the carry. So if you're, want this part of the holster up here to ride higher up in the belt or lower down in the belt, you can adjust this so that it actually rides higher or lower. You can tell, right, I carry this one on my right hip, probably about the 3 o'clock position. That's where I find it most comfortable. I know everyone has their preference. I have a friend who carries appendix and really likes it. I've just found that right there on my hip is the most comfortable. I feel like it's easily accessible and it's out of the way. And anyway, I know I've said this already, but this is just a nice holster to hold in your hand. So flipping it over to this side, this part right here, you kind of have a polymer mesh. This is probably, when I mention concerns, this is probably my biggest concern of the holster. And I don't know if it's that much of a concern because this is well milled. If I scratch at the material, you can tell it's a solid. It's very durable. That's going to hold up for a very, very long time. And I think my only concern on this one is if you're at the range or if you're somewhere and you've fired multiple rounds through your gun, like many of us have, and you take your gun right after firing and inadvertently put it into your holster. My concern is that the heat of the slide or the heat of the gun can get very, very hot, very hot of melting things like a polymer mesh if it were to slide into the holster. I actually contacted them about that. They said that they haven't heard any concerns about that. I don't know that they're a fantastic company to work with, and I'm not trying to disparage them, but I don't imagine that too many companies would say that it did. But they, I'll take their word for it and say that if you have a hot gun, this will hold up. I don't know that I'm going to test it right away. Taking a hot barrel, maybe that's something down the road I can test. We'll shoot a bunch of rounds through the gun and see how well it holds up. But that's such a small thing, and I think for the most part, for an everyday carry use, I think as long as you're a little bit careful in not running 100, 200 rounds through your gun and then immediately sticking it in your holster, which might cause problems with any holster for that matter. But it's like I said, it's a very, very, very small concern. It has the form-fitted Kydex, obviously. So if you take the Kydex and slide your firearm inside, it doesn't come out. It's solidly in there. You have these screws right here that will adjust if you look right there, it will adjust how hard or how solidly you want to keep that gun inside because of the screws being in place there. But if you pull it out, it slides out. It's a little bit of a pull, slides out very nicely. I've kept it at roughly the, I'm having a hard time here with that little stand. I've kept it the same setting or the same tightness that came from the factory. So I haven't tightened those at all, but have a little bit of a plastic rubber washer, I guess, that kind of a standoff that holds the holster just off of the, or holds the Kydex off of the holster. The clips, the belt clips that go over your belt, they're just like any other of the J clips that come on these things. Very well built, solid. The whole thing has a solid feel. It has the edging that goes along is also looks like some sort of a Cordura or but it's a very well built all around solid holster. I would not hesitate at all to recommend this to someone. Like I mentioned before, I don't know if this model, this particular, the Onyx, is still going to be available, just because I know that they're redoing a lot of their website, coming up with some new ones, and their new holsters, they look just as good, if not better, than this one. I really like the way they look, and based on how they're put together and how they feel, I wouldn't hesitate recommending this to anyone. So there you have it. This is the StealthGear Onyx holster. It is customizable, so when you buy it, you tell them what type of gun you have, and they will form fit the Kydex and put it together for your gun, so that you have a form fitted holder so that it stays in there well. And I love it. So take a look at it if you have a chance. I don't know if they sell these in stores. I'll have to look and see if they sell them in stores down the road, maybe when we do the review of the gun. But they are well built and well worth the money. That's the first episode, guys. That's me giving it a try. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some useful information. And I hope down the road you'll find more. To do so, all you have to do is subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and we will bring you more videos down the road. We will hopefully find them entertaining, useful, helpful. I hope to learn a lot. That's probably one of the main reasons for this channel, is that I get to learn from you and hear, if I did something or if I say something wrong, by all means, I have thick skin. Correct me, let me know what I can do to improve. But I love seeing, I think like most guys, you see a lot of EDC sites that are out there that show pocket dumps, show what people are carrying, and I just want to learn and find out more, kind of go on this journey of refining and making my everyday carry as good as possible and as useful as possible, so that when the time comes, I have what I need. And that's what I'm hoping to learn anyway from this channel. So go ahead and subscribe, sign up. I think I'm rambling on right now, but thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, tell your family, and until talk again next time, this is Frank for Trig Tac Toe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.